The season is nearing and football is back, and Sunderland are here once again in the Premier League. So here are my Premier League predictions for the season. Let me know your in the comment section below and how wrong you think I am. And do not forget to subscribe. Let's get into it. And in 20th place, I have put Burnley. And defensively, last season, they were phenomenal. They were really hard to break down. But the one thing they struggled with, although of course they still went up, was scoring goals. And I don't think they've made a lot of improvement in the goal scoring department. However, they have made some great defensive improvement, although they didn't really need it. In signing Kyle Walker, I mean, is he too old? Is he not going to do a job anymore? I mean, let me know. What do you think about that sign with Kyle Walker? However, yeah, like I said, I believe they'll struggle again to score, and for that, they will finish bottom. Sorry, Burnley fans. Now, in 19th place, this could be a big shock to you, and I'm sure it will be, because I've put Wolverhampton Wanderers. And the reason for this is they have lost their top goal scorer last season in Cunha, and I think it'll be a really big problem if they do not replace him with a guaranteed goal scorer. They have also lost some other first team players as well, and I believe they will break the cycle and get relegated. Now, in 18th space, I have put my team, Sunderland. Now, of course, this is the team I support, and I honestly am not being pessimistic. And we have signed some fantastic players in Granit Xhaka, Premier League experience. We've even got Adingra again from Brighton. We've got Noah Siddiqui. We've got Diarra. We've got Roofs, who apparently is really good. We only signed him yesterday as I'm recording this. And like, you look at it and people are starting to get a little bit confident, and I think they forget how tough on that act it is for us to stay up this season. It really is. We are favourites, remember, to finish rock bottom. So although the same end product is there, and that I think will get relegated, to compete and stay until the end of the season and just go down, I wouldn't say I would take it. But if you look back from where we were 5 years ago in League One, you would take it, wouldn't you? You'd take a season back in the Premier League, because I even started thinking, literally even last year, will I ever see Sunderland play in the Premier League again? And yes, we will. We will see us play in the Premier League. Will it be for 1 year? I hope not. I hope it is longer, but I'm being realistic here. It's going to be a tough rollercoaster ride of a season. And I, for one, am really, really looking forward to it. And I really do hope that my prediction is wrong. I'm just saying that I think we're going to go down. But if we can fight until the last day and even just stay up, that would be amazing. In 17th space, I have Brentford. Now, they had a brilliant season last year, finishing in 10th place. But that is mostly thanks to Mbemo, who, of course, had gone to Man United, and Visa, who, unfortunately, actually wants to leave the club, or hasn't yet. And they could see themselves getting relegated if, they've lost both of these players, or they definitely have lost one of them. And if they don't replace them well, they really could see themselves in a bit of trouble. But they have signed experienced Jordan Henderson, who I don't know if we were ever after him, but a lot of us wanted him back and thought it'd be great. And see, maybe it wasn't in Roger de Brie plans. I don't know. That is fine. Obviously I trust the system that he's going for. I think the appointment of Granit Xhaka, of course, was fantastic. And you never know, we could be above them. We could just stay up. It will be a tougher season, I think, than last year, where like the 3 teams that went down just were that bad. I do think it's going to be a little bit tighter across the board, even with Burnley, like I said, finishing bottom. But yeah, I think they'll just finish just outside the relegation zone. But I do think it'll be a nervy finish to the season for Brentford coming up. In 16th place, I have put West Ham. Now, they had very inconsistent results last season with a really fragile defence. And they are still in a transitional phase after losing Declan Rice. And now they have lost Kudo to Tottenham also. And I just don't see them doing much better than this place. I don't see them getting relegated, but I don't see them finishing much higher Then 16th place, if they are going to, it'll be maybe 14th max. I just think they're going to have a very underwhelming season again. But again, not relegated. 16th place, West Ham. In 15th space, I have put Leeds United. Now, I believe their manager has learned from what went wrong when he last managed in the Premier League with Norwich. I believe he is now more tactically flexible and pragmatic. And if things aren't working, if the results aren't coming, I don't think he'll stick to the same system. I think he'll completely switch things up tactically, and even with the players if they get their quad depth in. I just think they're going to stay up this year. Of course, with a fantastic fan backing, a lot of the players also have had Premier League experience with Leeds United a few years ago and are now returning more mature, and they know how it works now with the Premier League. It didn't go right for them a few years back. Of course, they had a couple of seasons in the Premier League, but I believe now they're coming back. They're coming back stronger. They're coming back with a bigger squad depth, more experienced players, and I see them staying this time for longer. So there we go. Breaking a cycle. Leeds United, 15th space. What do you think about that, eh? In 14th place, I have put Crystal Palace. Last year, they had a phenomenal season, winning a major trophy in the first time in their history with the FA Cup. But I do think now they're playing a European competition. I believe they dropped down to the Conference League, but of course they're not going to complain about that one. I do believe it will affect them a little bit with the quad depth, with the extra games, and this is why I think they'll just finish a little bit lower. But will they care? Will you turn down ever a European away day? No, you wouldn't. So well done. I mean, that's fantastic, isn't it? They've won their FA Cup and now they're playing in the Conference League. Could you ask for any better? Well, Europa League, but they won't have to do that. In 13th space, I have put Everton. Now, last season, they were one of the lowest scorers in the league with only 42 league goals and failed to score in 16 of their games. I mean, that is pretty shocking. Although they have signed Thierry Barry from Villarreal, who scored 11 goals last season in respective league. So this could possibly be a big boost for them going forward. And of course, also, they will be playing in their new stadium for the first time, which again is fantastic. However, I still think Everton fans should expect another season of mostly low-scoring games, but, roughly around the mid-table finish. Hopefully it's not as nervy as the few seasons before. And yeah, I mean, would you complain? No, you've got a new ground, it looks great, and hopefully I'll be able to visit it this year. In 12th space, I have put Little Bournemouth, who of course finished in 9th last season, which is fantastic. However, they have lost both Hudson and Kirkes, who were fantastic in defence for them last season, and I do not think they will replace these sufficiently. So for that, I believe they'll have a slight drop down in the league, but only slightly, and you'll still take a 12th place finish, won't you, Bournemouth fans? Will you not? Now, in 11th place, I have put Fulham, with very little transfer activity departing or incoming. I don't see them differing much from last season, and that's why I believe they will finish right there, and for that I have absolutely nothing else to say. In 10th space, I have put Brighton. Now, Brighton are very good at producing young players and then shipping them on for a profit, which is a great business model, but it's hard for them to continue to build on their squad if they're continuously getting rid of a player for profit and then bringing another one, we're getting another. So they're continually transitioning and don't have that set squad right there. Although they still performed very well last season, I just don't believe they're the same team as they were under De Zerbi, and I don't see them pushing much higher than a mid-table finish last season. Of course, finishing, I believe, in 8th last year. So a slight drop, but not majorly. I can't see them finishing above 8th. And for that, I've put them solidly at mid-table. Finishing in 9th space, I have put Nottingham Forest. Now, they had a fantastic season last year, finishing in 7th and qualifying for the Europa League. And the only reason I believe they will drop down a few positions, but not a lot, will be because the extra games will just stretch the squad a little bit too much, and they just won't be able to perform as well with the extra game played. But I don't think the fans will complain about that. Nottingham Forest are a great club. I like the City Ground a lot. I think the atmosphere is fantastic, and I really, really look forward to returning. And would you take a 9th place finish when you've got Europa League football as well? Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Are you going to complain? No, you're not. In 8th place, I have put Tottenham Hotspur, and I cannot believe last season how badly they did, but they still managed to somehow win the Europa League, but finished in 17th place. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. 17th versus 16th in the Europa League final. Man United v Tottenham. Like, both of those clubs down at the bottom ends of the table. You just would never ever have written that 10 years ago. So that is mad. But I seriously cannot ever see that being repeated. And they have recruited well. The defensive shape has improved. And I believe now they're going to concede fewer cheap goals and turn those draws that they had into wins. And for that, they should see them finishing in a little bit more of a respectable position for Tottenham Hotspur in 8th place. Maybe. You never know though. In 7th place, I have put Man United. Now, last season was a disjointed mess from one of the biggest clubs in the world, losing 18 games in the league. It is unreal. From the Man United that I remember when I grew up winning everything, to be finishing in 16th, losing 18 games. That is just mad. That is mental. But they've had their load now, I believe. And this coming season will be lots different. We've already recruited it in Bemo and Cunha. This is only the beginning of their transitional period under Amorim. And they just need a couple more defensive signings, I reckon. And the spine of Man United is rebuilding back again, growing. And of course, everyone wants to play for Man United still. They're still a massive name across the world. Of course, they have Ahmad, who I love Ahmad. And he's going to step up a little bit more this year, I reckon, as well. Rather than just coming on, he's going to be a regular starter. I just think things will improve for them. I think they are a few years away from return to Champions League football. But I think it's coming. I think their reign of glory may return with some kind of silverware coming up the next couple of years. Maybe even this year they might even get one. In 6th place, I have put Newcastle, and it really, really does pain me to say that. But I have to be unbiased with the prediction. What's the point of me doing it if I'm just kind of going, Newcastle, relegated, Sunderland, top of the league, whatever. Completely pointless. I wanted to do research, and that's why I do have notes. If you ever see me do looking down, I do have written up notes for myself. In the old Rye way, that would be actually. Here we say, no smoke and mirror here. We have note. I can't remember things. I have terrible memory, so I write it down. And I just have to look at it every so often. And if anything, actually, I'm terrible at remembering my lines, so I wouldn't be a very good actor. But he scored 23 goals last season. The problem is, though, can he look like he's on the way out? He don't want to play for you anymore. He wants out. So if Newcastle do not replace him with a guaranteed goal scorer, I don't think they'll finish this high. Will I like that? Yes, I would. Especially when we're now, it would give us a little bit of a chance. If they don't have a guaranteed goal scorer there, then there could be a problem, and that would be great for us anyway. But yeah, I think if they can't replace him, and if they do lose him, and if they do keep him, and he doesn't end up leaving, and they can't sell him because they turned down Liverpool bid of 120 million or something mad like that, and they turned it down. If you don't want to be there, will he still play for the badge? I don't know. Am I complaining? No, I'm not. You Saudi Barco bastards. In 5th place, I have put Aston Villa. Now, Unai Emery had transformed Aston Villa from a mid-table side to now they're not overachieving. They deserve to be where they are. They have evolved into a team that deserves to be in 5th place. I think me even talking about them finishing just outside of 4th, they could even push up to 4th because they are a delight to watch. They are fantastic to watch. They're really exciting. They have a strong spine in their squad and good depth to rotate. So, the cup games and that, it's not going to be a bother them being in Europa League, Champions League, or anything like that. because they have that good squad depth there. Of course, they have Ollie Watkins from, there they are, Torquay, and from Buckland. Of course, that's where he came from. And Exeter City, of course, he was born in Torquay, played for Buckland and Exeter City. And then he moved on with, I think, Brentford on it, I don't remember actually. But yeah, he gets exciting to watch as well. And if he stays fit, I'm sure that he will get 15 plus goals again this coming season. I just can't see him not. Now, in fourth base, I have put Man City. And now, they were awful last season, but still managed to finish third. They relied too much on Rodri. And with him being out for a big chunk of that season, everything seemed to just go downhill. Even Haaland didn't look up to his best, but he still managed to get 22 goals in the league. Now, I do believe that this is the start of a transitional period with Luke and De Bruyne, and that untouchable era has ended for now, but with a respected finish, still expected. I think they won't be doing the Podnam for a while, which is why I'm wearing a Podnam shirt, but they will be back. I don't think they're going to get any trophy this coming season. Now, in third base, I have Chelsea. Now, a shock choice of mine. You probably are thinking, wow, Chelsea, the thing is there. Are you sure? Are you feeling all right? And yes, I am. And this is why. Because Chelsea have quiet confidence with no hype, meaning no pressure. The club have had managerial instability for years, with 11 managerial changes over the past 10 years. But they look settled now under Maresca. And if Palmer continue running the show, young talent starts shining through and they stay solid defensively, then I believe they will definitely break at least top 4 and maybe even win some silverware this season. And we will find out whether they will or not. Now, in second place, I have put Arsenal. And now Arsenal are in their 5th season with Arteta in charge. And they have the attacking fork with Saka and Odegaard entering their prime year. And near enough can guarantee both will score over 10 goals each this season. They also have the defending to win the league, with Raya keeping 13 clean sheets last season and a solid back line. But what is holding them back from winning a trophy since 2020? Well, it is end of season mentality. At least that was the reason this past season, with only picking up 5 wins from their last 12 games. It's mad. The title race pressure got too much for them and they made silly mistakes. If they can fix this problem, they will win the league. Just not this season. This is why Liverpool will win the league back to back. They have fantastic depth across all positions. So Arne Slot is able to rotate the squad without weakening it dramatically to assist in cup run. They have that winning mentality by securing 23 points from losing position, with the most memorable being the comeback against Brighton late on to win 2-1. And to top it off, after winning the league by 10 points, they have signed some top players in Wirtz, Ekitike and Kirkes and Frimpong. And they're still showing a very keen interest in signing Isaac. Whether they have to up that transfer fee, maybe they do. Will that be worth it? I don't know. I actually don't know, because I feel like they have that squad there. They look fantastic. And I don't only see them winning the league again. I see them winning another peak of silverware again. Another one. I see them winning at least 2. I think it's mad. And I think Liverpool are going to be going through an untouchable era like Man City had the last 5 or so years ago. So, here we go, Liverpool. Drink it in. Because the victory era is now. There's my prediction. Let me know yours in the comment section. And let me know how you think I have got it massively wrong. And you think that Burnley should have won the league. And you tell me, well, Burnley are going to win the league because we've got Kyle Walker. No. You let me know. And most importantly, like and then subscribe, as this season is going to be huge.